Tonight, in our coverage, Egypt spearheads an Arab summit to rebuild Gaza without displacing Palestinians. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Elia Batul. Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly has clearly stated that Russia's return to the G7 is not possible. Joly made the comments while speaking at the Munich Security Conference in Germany. She dismisses U.S. President Donald Trump's call for Russia's reinstatement. Russia has been a member of the G7, then known as the G8, until Moscow annexed the Crimea region in 2014. Trump argues that keeping Russia in the G7 might have prevented Ukraine's full-scale invasion in 2022. But Canada and its allies remain firm in their support for Ukraine. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has also opposed Russia's return, calling its exclusion justifiable. The federal government and the Haida Nation have signed a historic agreement recognizing Aboriginal title over Haida Gwaii. Haida Gwaii is an archipelago off British Columbia's northern coast. The deal affirms Haida people's legal right to the land, transferring crown title lands and granting control over the island's fresh waterbeds and foreshores. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau calls the agreement a full-circle moment. This is Trudeau's final trip as Canada's leader. He recalls his first visit to Haida Gwaii with his father in 1976. Haida Nation President Gwaii Jason Alsop describes the signing as a shift from denial and resistance to a peaceful coexistence. The agreement follows a similar recognition by British Columbia government last year and resolves a decades-long legal battle. Negotiations began in 2021. The federal government has allocated $59 million to support Haida governance capacity building. A 5-year transition period will establish how the agreement is implemented. The British Columbia Conservative Party has criticized the deal, raising concerns about private landowners. However, federal officials insist private property rights remain unaffected. The agreement marks the first time Canada has recognized Aboriginal title through negotiations rather than court rulings. Israel has violated the truce agreement with Hamas at least 266 times since January 19th. The violations have killed at least 132 Palestinians and injured over 900. Data compiled by Al Jazeera shows most violations occurred in central Gaza, followed by Rafah, Gaza City, Khan Yunis, and the Northern Strip. Children in Gaza continue to suffer. A UNICEF official who has visited the enclave says children are lacking food, water, shelter, and health care. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces are demolishing homes in the Tulkarem refugee camp. At least 22 homes have been destroyed in the past 23 days of attacks. 300 have been damaged. Over 10,000 civilians have been displaced. Lebanese media reports Israeli forces have withdrawn from several southern Lebanese towns, but still hold 5 border points. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has met Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh. Rubio says any deal on the future of war-torn Gaza must boost regional security. Israel is looking for maximum flexibility as Israel and U.S. politicians consider the possibility of going into the second phase of the truce deal with Hamas. Palestinian Media Office has updated its death toll to at least 61,709. The new toll includes thousands of Palestinians buried under the rubble, presumed dead. More than 111,000 have been injured. Egypt has confirmed it will host an emergency Arab summit on March 4th to discuss plans to rebuilding Gaza Strip while ensuring that its Palestinian population remains in place. The summit was originally scheduled for February 27th. The Egyptian Foreign Ministry says it has been postponed to allow for additional logistical preparations. The rescheduled date has been set in coordination with Bahrain, the current chair of the Arab League, and in consultation with other Arab nations. The summit follows international opposition to a proposal by the U.S. President Donald Trump, which suggests a redevelopment plan for Gaza. plan has faced global rejection, with critics calling it ethnic cleansing. Egypt says it is committed to ensuring that Palestinians remain in Gaza. It has outlined a reconstruction plan that includes temporary housing solutions during infrastructure recovery. Discussions with European and Gulf states, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, are ongoing to secure funding through an international reconstruction conference. Ahead of the summit, Saudi Arabia will host a five-nation Arab meeting on February 20th. It will bring together representatives from Egypt, Jordan, Qatar, and the UAE to discuss the Egyptian-led reconstruction proposal. Arab League's Assistant Secretary General Hussam Zaki says the upcoming Arab Summit will aim to unify the regional stance on Gaza. Zaki says it will reject displacement plans backed by Israel and the U.S. and propose a collective Arab alternative. The University of Toronto Law School is facing growing criticism over an equity, diversity, and inclusion course that contained Islamophobic content. This course, assigned to students, featured inflammatory material. A targeted email sent to Muslim students claims that the historical context of Allah's anger towards the Jews significantly shaped the Muslim community's attitudes with Jewish populations. The content has sparked outrage among both Muslim and non-Muslim communities on and off campus. The National Council of Canadian Muslims condemns the material, calling it deeply disturbing. The law school has issued an apology and paused the course. However, critics say it has yet to acknowledge the Islamophobic nature of the content. The National Council of Canadian Muslims and other advocates are calling for a full and impartial investigation into how the course content was selected and why it was directed to Muslim students. 18 passengers have been injured following a crash landing of a Delta Airlines plane from Minneapolis at Toronto's Pearson Airport. While landing yesterday, the plane flipped upside down. There were 76 passengers and 4 crew members on board. Officials say quick action by first responders prevented fatalities. The injured were rushed to hospitals. The crash forced a temporary airport shutdown with 2 runways still closed for investigation. Experts say weather conditions at the time of landing, including wind gusts and snow on the runway, may have caused the incident. Transport safety teams from Canada and the U.S. are investigating the cause. Toronto, Ontario is set to mark a historic first this Ramadan. The Toronto Youth Muslim Council and the Toronto Islamic Centre are collaborating to install a public Ramadan sign on one of the city's most prominent intersections of Bay and Queen, next to Nathan Phillips Square. The initiative aims to recognize and celebrate Toronto's diverse Muslim community, bringing awareness to the significance of Ramadan. Organizers say the sign will serve as a symbol of unity and inclusion in the city. Fundraising efforts are underway at GoFundMe.com to cover the cost of manufacturing and installation. Community members are being encouraged to contribute. The sign will be the first of its kind in Toronto, offering a visible acknowledgement of Ramadan in a major public space. Officials say full snow removal from the city of Toronto may take up to 3 weeks. This comes as the city and its surrounding areas are still buried under heavy snow after back-to-back storms. This weekend, around 23 centimeters of snow fell, adding to last week's 20 centimeters. Crew are plowing roads and sidewalks. Snow is being collected in dump trucks and moved to designated routes. Drivers are warned not to park in snow routes. 27 vehicles have been towed over the weekend due to low visibility and rapid snow accumulation. Toronto police have issued 2,393 tickets. Public transit has also been affected. Buses, streetcars, and subways are facing delays and modified schedules. And now, as we head towards the blessed month of Ramadan 2025, we are introducing a new segment to keep you updated on the events happening in your city, called Ramadan Events Save This Date. On February 23rd, the Ramadan Revival Conference brings an unforgettable experience to the Palacio Event Center in Mississauga. The event features renowned speakers and engaging activities. One lucky attendee will get a chance to win a free Umrah trip. You can purchase tickets on dawanet.ca. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV.